Hello, Namaste. Here Oscar from Kude Cuenco. Today we are going to talk a little about Mercury, especially these days, in finishing September and beginning October, more than the half of October 2021, in where Mercury is going to be in retrograde mode. I will explain in this video what is very fast, what is retrograde planet, what is stationary planet, how is affecting this to us, and how can we deal with this, and I will give some kind of remedies for this retrograde Mercury in order for you to be aligned with this energy on this planet. First of all, what is a retrograde planet? A retrograde planet is a planet that we normally see in direct mode in the sky. Every day, every night is going in the sky in direct direction. But suddenly we see that this planet for weeks, sometimes depending on the planets, months, but we are talking only about Mercury, we see for about 3 weeks is going back, and again after 21, 22, 24 days, depending on the year, is going again in direct mode. This is just an optic effect. It's not the planet is going back and straight again. This is because of our point of view from the planet Earth. When we pass close to a planet in the orbit, we pass close to some planet in the orbit surrounding the sun. When we pass close to these planets, this is happening. It's like when you are driving in the highway and you're taking over a car. For a while you feel this car is going back. It's never going back. It's just a visual effect. It's something similar. Then this is happening in this moment while I make this video in the finishing September 2021. This is happening in 3 planets: Jupiter, Saturn, and now from very less days ago, it's happening with with Mercury. This is the thing we are going to talk about in this video. What is a stationary planet? Stationary planet means that in this process in where the planets go direct, suddenly goes back, let's say retrograde, and again goes direct, in these 2 points in where suddenly goes back and suddenly again go straight, is a process in Mercury is happening for especially 3 days, in where the planet really does not move. It's moving very less minutes every day, and for a while it's total quiet. This was happening exactly the day 27 in September 2021. Mercury was in direct, suddenly stop, very less speed, and then suddenly from now it's coming back again, and these days of transition the planet doesn't already move. This is a stationary planet, and in where the planet is giving more powerful energy to us. Then this is happening for Mercury 3 times a year, sometimes very less year, 4 times in a year. Normally it's 3 times in a year, every 4 months. And as I told you before, it's happening for 21 days, sometimes 22 days, sometimes 24 days. Let's say about 3 weeks it's happening. In this time, it began the 27th September. It will be in this retrograde mode till the 18th October. This day again Mercury will be every day decreasing the speed until 18 October. In 18 October it will be total quiet. Then 17 October, 18 October, 19 October, these 3 days it will move very less or practically nothing. And then from that day it will begin again in direct mode, slowly, increasing the speed very slowly. Next time this will happen, it will be next year, 2022. Statutory date will be 14 on January. That means in 14 January it will begin again 3 weeks in where Mercury will be retrograde. How is affecting to us this phenomena, this Mercury retrograde? We have to see which is the planet. In this case we are only talking about Mercury. All planets are making this phenomena. Only Moon, only Sun is not working this retrograde, but all the rest of the planets is happening this retrograde phenomena. How is affecting? Well, Mercury is ruling 2 signs, 2 zodiacal signs. These are Gemini and Virgo. In Virgo is where Mercury gets exalted. That means where it feels much better than any other sign. I remember I always talking about Vedic Astrology. I'm not talking about Western astrology. I'm talking about sidereal astrology. I'm not talking about tropical astrology, about modern astrology. I'm talking about Jyotish or Vedic astrology, Indian astrology. And this astrology says the best position for a planet is exalted position. That means for Mercury is Virgo. Where is happening this retrograde situation? Well, it begins in where is already now. I'm talking in the finishing days of September. It begins, this retrogradation, it begins in the 1st degree on Libra. 1st degree on Libra. Then it's very important to know what means all related to Libra. What is Libra energy? Libra energy means balance, the sign of balance, the sign of equilibrium. Libra is very polite sign. Libra is very social. Always this energy Libra try to get accord, agreement, more than imposing anything. It's very educated. Libra energy has a very developed sense of harmony. This energy, of course, very sensible energy on Libra. Good time in order to develop some kind of business in this time when Libra is strong. And Mercury has to be with this energy too, about business. I will give you some advice later in order for who to know how to deal with this. It does not mean that now we have to run some project. Now it's time to the energy of Mercury, that is thinking, reflect. Because of this retrograde phenomena is happening, that means that Mercury will go from this 1st degree on Libra to the 0 degree on Libra, and then will pass to the sign in before. That means it will pass to Virgo, to this exalted sign in where I told you this planet feels better and better. Mercury has to be with intelligence. Mercury has to be with nerves, nervous system. Mercury has to be with mathematics, with logic. Mercury has to be with our left brain. Of course, with logic. The big topic on Mercury is, as you mainly will know, is communication. Communication in many ways, not only in the way of talking, but in the way of sending messages, sending mail, trying to, this I'm making now, trying to spread a message to the people. Everything related with computers has to be with this energy of Mercury. Travel, trips in any way, by road, by airplane, by train, everything related to books and learning is related to Mercury, and everything related to strategy, planify, making plans, making our own strategy for something, for our goals, something we want to get. And of course, humor sense of humor is related to Mercury. Advertisements are related to Mercury. Some other things like occult science are related to Mercury. And of course, commerce, banking, contracts, trading. In where this case, as I told you, the retrograde is beginning in the first degree on Libra. We can mix this both energy in order to create a plan on this financial, personal world. It's interesting, all of this. It's always important to know where Mercury is located on your Vedic chart, on your Vedic astral chart. It's very important, this thing, to know where it is affecting. How is Mercury energy on your life? How is Mercury energy on your Vedic chart? And with this, we know about the transit chart, where is happening this retrograde phenomena on your chart. Then this is very important. It's not the same when it's happening on the 7th house, when it's happening in the 10th house, when it's happening in the 1st house, any other one of the 12th house on the natal chart. This is very important for going detail for how you are going to live this process. But in this video, we will talk generally about this energy of Mercury retrograde. In the sky, as I told you, is happening in this first degree, beginning on the first degree on Libra. In a few days, in the 2nd October, it will pass to, Mercury will pass to the sign in before. It will pass to Virgo, and it's very important for us in Vedic astrology to know in which nakshatra is happening this retrograde Mercury period, because it's happening beginning in Chitra nakshatra, after we'll move to Hasta nakshatra. For people that doesn't know what is nakshatra, I have some video in English in YouTube in where I explain a little what is this nakshatra. But nakshatra is, as you know, the sky is divided in for example, 12 signs, 30 degrees each. This is the 12 zodiac sign. 360 degrees are divided in 12 parts, 30 degrees each. In Vedic astrology, we use mainly another division. This division is on 27 space in the sky, not 12 but 27 space. All of them has 13 degree, little more, 13 degree 20 minutes. All of them. Any one of them. For us it's very important to know any phenomena, not only the retrograde, but any phenomena, where is happening, in which nakshatra is your moon, in which nakshatra is your ascendant, in which nakshatra is your any other planet, like sun, in this case, where is in your natal chart. Mercury is very important. But now for all of us, this period with Mercury retrograde will happen in Chitra nakshatra. In Facebook I have a really interesting article I wrote about Chitra nakshatra, you can see there. But anyway, Chitra nakshatra, the Chitra is a Sanskrit word that means the bright one. Another translation says that it's the jewel. It's one of the most auspicious nakshatra. The beginning of this retrograde period is happening in the third pada. Every nakshatra has 4 pada, 4 feet, 4 parts. This is happening on the third. Then this is a nakshatra related to fame, related to richness, related to prosperity, and of course related to arts, music, drama, all type of art. Actually, people with moon in this nakshatra is normally people very creative, very artistic, very talented for arts, music, any other art, painting, creativity generally, writing. Why? Because one of the reasons why, because this nakshatra has a deity ruling, has 2 deities. One is for the Trimurti, that is Vishnu, we will see later, but the deity, let's say the minor deity, is Vishvakarma. Vishvakarma is the architect of the cosmos, is the architect of the universe. That is because this energy of Chitra is related to creativity. Of course, Chitra has to be with the spiritual depth, to go deep in the spiritual. These people with moon or ascendant in Chitra, both Chitra ascendant, moon ascendant moon in Chitra, has really powerful in the going deep with the spirituality, not staying the surface, but going really deep. The planet Mars is helping on this way, because Mars makes to Chitra people and Chitra energy like the spiritual warrior, let's say, because the ruling planet of Chitra is Mars. And it's very interesting one thing, because in where now Mars is located, is in Hasta Nakshatra, is where Mercury is going in the retrograde mode till finishing the retrograde in this nakshatra where Mars is. And remember, Mars is the ruler of the Chitra, where it begins the retrograde period. And Mars will move in this same time, they will cross. Mars will move to Chitra. It's very interesting to know and to deal with that, especially people with Mars energy strong, or Mars very well located, positioned on your natal chart. Well, in the finish of the video, I have many more information to give you, like for example the direction of the nakshatra. The direction of the Chitra nakshatra is west, then that means we can face west in order to meditate these days. I will give you later the mantras, I will give you later the syllable of this time for you to connect with the divine, with the energy of the planets, with your own self, let's say, whatever. It has many more things, like a number, auspicious number for this nakshatra Chitra is 9. But I will give you later all the remedies, all the mantra, all the syllable Well, how this can affect to us? This Mercury retrograde, not only this one in this period, but any Mercury retrograde can make to us to arise some kind of fear, some kind of feeling of be afraid of. This is why, the reason why is because this period on 3 weeks is like something always new for us. Some people is more sensible to these energy movements, especially if you have on your natal chart Mercury retrograde. I mean, if you were born in the Mercury retrograde time. If this is happening, of course, Mercury retrograde periods every year, 3 times a year, it will be more intense for you. And I recommend you to take even more care than other people on these all advices I will give you later. Then we can feel some kind of afraid, we can feel fear. Mercury has to be with obsessions sometimes. And then where is happening the beginning of retrograde period, I mean in Libra, we can take some obsession with this energy. As I told you before, all related to Libra energy. Especially when the planet is stationary, when the planet is beginning to make this change of motion. And more especially in the first stationary time, I mean now, in the beginning of retrograde, because it's going back, it's a change. When after 3 weeks, again begins the planet to go in direct, this stationary time, these 3 days where the planet does not move, we can deal better with that, because it again come to the direct motion, to the normal motion, let's say. When the days of this stationary mode, the days in where the planet is quiet, is good days to get calming, get down. The planet is telling to you this energy, not move a lot, especially in the beginning and in the end of retrograde mode, because this energy is the energy ruling, the calming, the quiet. It's time to look into the self, it's time to look deep inside. Mercury means communication, and some people, especially with moon in Libra, with moon in Virgo, why not moon in Libra, ascendant in Libra, ascendant in Virgo too, these people will feel even especially more powerful the effects related especially to the second house, that means speech, communication, what you say, how you say the things, what to say, what not to say. This is very important, these things mix the energy of Mercury. I told you this is left brain, this is calming, this is go down, this is think twice, even 3 times in before talking, what you are going to express, how you are going to express. It's a time to reflect. I think that the main topic on Mercury retrograde is reflect. Reflect on especially the last 4 months, especially in the period from the last Mercury retrograde till now. What was in your life that was not useful anymore? Reflect about this, and you need to throw away to make a space in your life for something new to come. What was really special and useful in your life, and you must to keep with you for longer time. It's important to reflect. It's a very yin moment. It's special communication with yourself. Mercury means communication, and for people with Libra, Virgo, powerful, or people that is happening on your natal chart, this retrograde, on your first house, this will move a lot inside yourself. This can be a good choice in order to communicate with yourself. Some people always say that this Mercury retrograde period is a bad period, is a moving period, is a messy period. Not really. Any planet in retrograde mode actually is a challenge for us. It's coming to us to help, to see yourself, to reflect on how you, in this case Mercury, how you think, how you talk, how you express, what you must express, what you must not to express anymore. When we have to talk, when we have to be shut up. And of course, as I told you in the beginning, Mercury is related with intelligence. For me, intelligence, one of the biggest topics in intelligence is to understand what is right, what is wrong. That not always means what is true, what is false. It's time to reflect on all these things. Take note on all these things. The energy moves in the inside, not in the outside, because now it's time to be really well connected in the internal communication. Why not when you connect totally with yourself, with your inner self? It's time to communicate with the higher, with the divine, whatever you want to call. How you talk to yourself. First of all, how you talk to the others, how you connect and talk with the highest, with the divine. It's time to be patient, especially now these days on a stationary planet. Sometimes we feel these days some kind of hurry up. We feel impatient. It's time to be calming, patient, to know that maybe, especially on communication, mainly especially in our logic life, in our rational life, things are not going to be fast, things are not going to be quick. Maybe we need more time for many things. It's time to be patient, to work on patience and wait, because maybe on this waiting time is something for us. And it's time to think, to analyze, not to decide. Especially this is one of the most important topics in Mercury retrograde. What means this? Means that you must stay more on thinking, more on reflecting, more on making plans, more than to do, more than to bring to the earth your plans, on to run your project. It's time to plan your project. It's time to think on your projects. It's time to know your strategy, as I told you before, with Mercury. And then after the day in where Mercury goes again direct, you can develop, you can bring to the earth, you can do, you can make. I recommend actually don't do from the first day on direct mode. Remember that this day, in this case is 18 October, but anytime that Mercury goes again in direct mode, it's going slowly the first days. It's very slow speed. After 1 week it will go directly. Then let's wait few days after the Mercury retrograde period finish. It's better now think and reflect, better than create something new. Then all this process, I finish with this, all this process maybe your analytical mind, your rational mind, your left brain does not understand what is happening. It's time not to see everything from the logic, not to see everything from the analytical, because here can be some kind of disturbance, some kind of chaos, some kind of conflict. Then why not to be open for things to happen during these days? Try not to get conclusions very hard and very soon. Make patience this time. And we finish with the remedies. Let's say we finish with the healing process for this Mercury retrograde period. I'm going to write down this video, all this mantra and syllable I'm going to give you for you to practice, for you to stay connected with the Mercury energy. Especially all of you, you have this Mercury retrograde on your natal chart. Then, first of all, very important thing, the basic mantra for Mercury. Basic mantra for Mercury is Aum Budhaya Namaha. Aum Budhaya Namaha is the mantra for Mercury. It's good you to practice. Remember, I will put on down this video all these mantras in the description of the video. Of course, it's very important your personal mantra for Mercury. This is the generic mantra for Mercury. This is for you, for me, for your neighbor, for everybody. But it's very important to know your personal mantra of Mercury. Every people you were now, for example, in this summer, in my retreat of Inner Sound and Full Moon, all of you have this dossier in where I give you many information. One of the parts is the personal mantras. Then you go to Mercury, you will find there your personal mantra for Mercury. You can practice both Aum Budhaya Namaha and your personal mantra for Mercury. Every day is very important to do, especially on Wednesday, because Wednesday is the day ruled by Mercury. Well, about Chitra, in where is Chitra Pada 3, in where is happening the beginning of this retrograde mode, the syllable is Ra. This Ra is the syllable that is giving powerful for you to connect with this nakshatra, with this area in the sky in where Mercury is located now, making the first days of retrograde mode. Ra, this you can practice like a mantra. Remember, I will give you this in the description this syllable. Chitra, for this nakshatra we have a mantra is Aum Tham. Aum Tham is the mantra for the basic mantra for Chitra. This you can use for connect yourself with this energy. And because of Vishnu is the deity of the Trimurti that is ruling this nakshatra. Every nakshatra are ruled by one deity of the Trimurti. You know, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. In this case, it's Vishnu. That means the mantra Aum Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is helping in order to you to get connected with this Vishnu energy that is connected with this nakshatra in where Mercury is now, is going to be for long days, because until the day 8 October Mercury will be in this nakshatra. After 8 October Mercury passes to Hasta nakshatra, as I told you before. And why not to use the green color? Green color on your sheets to sleep. Green color on your clothes. Green color in any ornament you can have with yourself. Even you can adapt in your diet some green fruits, green vegetables. This is helping anything related to green color, because green color is related to Mercury. Then all of this you can use for your benefit on, especially every day, but especially on Wednesday, because Wednesday, I tell you again, this is the day that is ruled by Mercury. With this, I say goodbye. I hope this video is going to be useful for all of you. And then I only say to you, be happy, it's free. Bye bye.